Hello and welcome to Build. I'm Will Best, and as ever, we are live from London. Now, today, I am delighted to be joined by DJ and producer Joel Corry, whose latest track has broken the record for the most Shazammed song in one day ever. So before we chat to him, let's take a quick look at it. This is Sorry.
I can see my whole world changing. There's no need to live if I can't be with you. What I did was wrong, I'm sorry.
Give it up for Joel Corry! Right, now, as ever, if you are watching live, remember you can tweet your questions for Joel at Build Series London or leave a comment under the video if you're watching on Facebook. So, Joel, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Mate, it's an absolute pleasure. I mean, first things first, before we talk about the music, I've got two words for you. Love shaft.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
So what people don't know, that's not quite what it sounds like. So Joel and I actually met in 2012 on a dating show, as in I was hosting it, he was a contestant, called The Love Shaft.
Yes.
It only had one
I remember
series.
it well.
Only had one series. The quality of the contestants, mate, I wasn't up to it. The second series. That was quite a fun. Was that your first ever foray into TV?
Yeah, but you know what? My mates put me up for it. It was my best mate. He basically entered me into it, and I didn't know what I was getting into. He was like, Joel, like they've come back, they love you. I was like, let's just do it for a laugh. So
you were very funny on it. So for people, I mean, do you want to explain what
yeah, it was kind of like it was a bit like some sort of take me out style show, wasn't it? And then I was in a lift, and I used to go up, I went from floor to floor, and every time the lift was open, there was a new date there waiting for me. Yeah. And we had to have this really quick sort of speed date in the room that I was in.
In the lift?
In the lift, but the dates were just absolutely mental, weren't they?
Yeah.
I remember lying there naked with a pineapple to cover me up, and, and the date was just like painting a drawing of me, and I was like, yeah.
Were you the one where there was a vicar? You had to have
oh my God.
There was a vicar in the lift. Why was this not recommissioned?
Oh
this
my
was the
God.
best show ever. You know what? I knew that day when I met you, I thought, this guy, he's destined for greatness.
Oh, really?
And here you are, all these years later. So that was like 2012, 2011. Fast forward, lots more TV stuff. And then the music really takes off. So let's talk about the record. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, great choice of a song to rework.
Yeah.
The Monster Boy.
Yeah.
The David Howard remix was, I think, one of the best like garage tunes of like the early noughties. Yeah. What was it about that tune that you wanted to?
When I started DJing, I started DJing when I was like 13 years old, and when I grew up during my teenage years, like, the garage scene was popping. You know, that was my first sort of introduction to music, and I was really into my garage. My brother was an MC. I used to and we used to record our mixtapes in my bedroom. You know, back then it was all on vinyl as well, so we're mixing vinyl, and the highlight of my week was going down to the record shop to buy a brand new garage vinyl. And it was, times were so different then, because I'd save up my pocket money, and I'd be able to afford like one record a week. So it was a whole different sort of experience. But I'm glad I came through that, because it makes me appreciate like the history of DJing in a way, whereas like guys that start now maybe straight in and they just can download any music they want, stick it in a USB and they're gone. They never had that experience of like having to go out and really search for tracks and have that connection with records. But Monster Boy featuring Denzi, I'm Sorry, was like one of the first vinyls I ever brought. And I've got a really big connection with that track. It was a staple of my DJ sets growing up.
Yeah, mate. The thing is, because garage is back in.
Garage never went anywhere, mate. That's what people.
That tune still destroys dance floors.
It's a big tune. It's always been a big tune, and it was a massive tune for me back in the day. So, you know, I was just vibing out in the studio last winter. And I was having a little garage session in the studio, listening to some old school bangers, and that popped up, and I was just like, my girl Hayley May, who did the vocals on Sorry, I dropped her a little WhatsApp, and I said, I've got an idea. Can you sing this hook back to me? I want to hear it with your voice. And she sent me a voice note like straight away, and at that moment I was just like, oh my God, that works. I was like, that sounds incredible. I was like, Hayley, I think I'm onto something. Like, let's sort this out. So we got in the studio the next week, and we laid down the track in like 2 days, and it was just the rest is history, mate.
So did you know? I mean, this is a question that the further down your career you go, you'll be asked this all the time, right? Did you know when you were making it that was going to be a standout tune? Because you've released lots of singles before, and you've had success, but not on the level that this tune has brought you.
I never ever predicted that what happened would happen.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. Like, I knew it was a great tune, and I knew it could connect as well because people love the original as well. But I never predicted what was to come, man.
Yeah.
But I think timing was like key with this record as well because it came out just before summer. So it was bubbling, you know, just before summer started. It was there.
Perfect.
It was everyone was sort of starting
Everybody's
to hear
always
it.
looking for the summer tune as well.
And then, you know, as soon as it hit like sort of early June and all the sort of resorts started getting lively in Ibiza and Zante and Magaluf, the track just spread. And I mean, I've been DJing out on them resorts all summer long. I've been touring for like 4 months straight. I've literally just got back to UK from like a
You have
massive...
got a deep tan.
Have I? It's starting to fade a little bit, but I thought it was starting to fade a little bit. But yeah, it's been a massive summer, and I've been able to be on those resorts, like feet on the ground, be in front of those crowds every single night of the week, and just see the track growing and growing and become like a monster tune out there, man. Want for a better word.
Exactly. Yeah. Monster Boy tune. But I mean, it was the sort of the Shazam thing.
Yeah.
It like can't be ignored, right? Like the fact, I mean, to break the record of as the most Shazam tune.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Because in a way, it's kind of the purest way for your music to be discovered because there's no context. It's just like they don't know. They're Shazamming it because they don't know who it's by.
Yeah, I mean, and it just shows that how reactive the record is, that people want to pick up their phones and they hear the tune, like, what is this tune? I need it. Shazam. So that's a great sign for me because it means people hear the tune and they want to find out what it is. So it's great. And, you know, we was #1 on the Shazam chart, like, for a large portion of the summer. So yeah, we broke the record, actually, for the most Shazam song ever in the UK in one day, which is a really, really cool record to have. And that happened on the night that it got played on Love Island. So shout out to Love Island. So that was, I got a funny story about that night, actually. So I was actually out in Zante, and I didn't know it was going to happen. I had no idea the song was going to be played on Love Island. So I was just chilling in my hotel room. Now, one thing about Zante, right, and a lot of the Greek islands, is the 4G isn't great. I wouldn't even call it 4G. It's more sort of like 1G. You know, so I was just chilling in my room, and you can imagine it happened. It went on the show, and then suddenly my phone just like froze with like a million messages trying to get through, like WhatsApps, tweets, Instagram DMs, and I was like, first thing I thought was like, what have I done?
Something's been leaked to the press.
I was like, right, I had the fear. I was like, why is my phone just gone?
Tweets,
I just saw like all these notifications. I was like, right, something's happened. But it was a great moment, and it was a great moment in the summer when that happened.
Yeah, of course.
And
then it's just kind of the success of the tune has continued.
Yeah, as I said, it stayed at #1 on Shazam for a large. I mean, I think it's still #2, and this is after weeks and weeks, and that is so cool because even though the song now is sort of everywhere, and a lot of people have got it, for it to still be up there, it means that new people are still finding it. And that's like that's a great sign for me.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
No, definitely. So, are you superstitious?
Yeah, I kind of am. Well, a little bit.
Because according to Spotify, and I'm pretty sure, I think this is right.
Okay.
This is your 13th release.
Oh, I didn't actually know
your
that.
Your 13th single.
Right.
So that's like...
That's meant to be unlucky, isn't it?
It's meant to be unlucky.
Oh, okay.
But for some people, clearly, 13th is...
13's my new lucky number then.
No, it should be. My family are like part Cornish, and my dad always used to say, for Cornish people, 13 is a lucky number. Are you Cornish?
I'm not, no.
No, that's the end of that theory then, clearly. So we've got to talk a bit about, you know, what you're doing before, well, during the music, but your other TV work. So it all started on Love Shaft.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then you obviously went onto Geordie Shore. Now, was that a conscious decision to help with the music? Did you think, if I go on Geordie Shore, you know, I'll get my face out there and it will help, it'll be a platform for my music to spread? Not really, no.
Like, basically, like, I got in a relationship with somebody that was on the show, and they asked me to sort of become part of the show and come in and during some series, and to me it was just like a bit of fun. And you know, it was a great opportunity as well. Like we got to travel. I mean, I went to Australia, went to Mexico, got to live this really cool, fun life. And I was only young as well, so at the time I was like, wait. But yeah, obviously it was a big show, and there was a lot of exposure gained on it. So it enabled me to sort of start touring a lot more around the UK because I've always been DJing, as I said, since I was 13. I've been a pro club DJ since I was 18. That's what I've always been doing. But before like pre-TV stuff, it was like my residencies were all London-based, and they were very much residencies. So I'd be playing like from 9 p.m. to like 4 a.m. in the clubs, sort of as a resident DJ around London. But after then going on the TV show and having that exposure, I was able to start touring around the UK and Europe and sort of going and doing more like guest sets and stuff like that. And so it definitely, you know, it was a great platform for me. You know, I'm also very grateful for being a part of it, and I have amazing memories from that time of my life. And yeah, it was a really fun time. And that's what it mainly was. It was just good fun, man.
But that's another reason I think why the whole Shazam thing and the success of this tune is so important, because there is, you know, there can be a stigma, and I'm sure when you first went into it, you must have thought, will people take me less seriously as a musician because of just being involved in a reality show? Was that a concern, or did you think? Yeah,
it's a great question. And obviously, like, the thing that I always believe in is, like, if the music's good enough, it'll speak for itself. And one thing is, I know how hard I'm willing to work for what I want, and I know that if I was willing to work as hard as I want and I got the music to the right place, I knew it would connect whether I've been on a TV show or not. You know, there is people that will look down on that sort of thing, but to be honest with you, that just gives me more motivation. I like it, spurs me on to prove people wrong, and that's what I've always been about. So
definitely,
if there's people that sort of look at that in a negative light, you know, that I'm fine with that, and I do understand it, but I've got enough belief in myself that I can keep pushing and prove those people wrong, which is what I'm doing now, I think.
I think actually, if people do any digging, they'll see that you've been releasing music for a long time.
Exactly, man.
And also your Kiss FM show. Because am I right? You had a Kiss FM show from when you were 16.
No, so basically, it's a good story of this actually. So I joined Kiss 2 years ago, and I have a show every Thursday night on Kiss FM, which is great.
Yeah, awesome.
But I actually, if you'd asked me when I was younger, like, what's your dreams? Like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I would have said, I want to be like a DJ. I want to be on radio. I want to have hit singles. I want to be touring the world. That's what I would have told you my dreams were. So being on radio was always a big thing in my mind. So Kiss used to host these competitions called the Kiss Chosen One, and it was sort of like a audition thing, a bit like X Factor. And the winner would get. So I actually auditioned for this 4 years in a row. So I turned up there 4 years in a row, and I kept auditioning. I didn't quite make the cut, but eventually I kept emailing them even after doing the auditions for years, man. Like, I was on their case and sending them guest mixes. And it just shows you, like, if you do persist with something and never give up, it will come true. Because I eventually got a show on Kiss FM. Been there for 2 years now. Play at all their events.
Amazing.
And it is a nice feeling, because I know that all those times I tried, I got the knockback. Kept persisting with it.
Definitely.
And in the end, it paid off. So
no, it's an important lesson for sure. And I think coming back to the kind of reality star thing, some people don't realise Cardi B, who's obviously like credible and absolutely smashing it. She started on Love and Hip Hop before she was making, like, she became known from a reality show, and then, you know, look at what she's gone on to.
This is my thoughts on the reality TV thing, right? I think if you're going on there and you want to have a bit of fun, and that's kind of what it is, go for it. It's a good platform, but it's when people don't have anything to fall back on is the problem, I think. Like with me, DJing's always been my focus, my music. And it's not like I went and did reality TV and thought, oh, my career now is going to be about reality TV, because that's when trouble, because there's only a small percentage of people that can stay relevant after reality 100%. TV. And there's so many people trying to do it. So if you go on there and you've got nothing to fall back on, or a sort of a plan for after reality TV, you're going to be in trouble. So that's what my opinion is. I think it's absolutely fine as long as you've got some substance about you and you've got a long-term, bigger picture plan. Then go and do reality TV. Why not? It's a bit of fun. You get to do some cool stuff. You get some followers probably on social media. Get your name out there a little bit, but just make sure you've got that bit of substance. So when it's over and you become not so relevant, you still got something to keep you going. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, you don't just have the music as well, because you've also got your fitness stuff, and you've got a brand running alongside that. how do? Because actually, I remember in 2011, 12, whenever it was, you were like doing press ups on the
God.
set back then.
Like the love
before
shaft
going
again.
on to Love Shaft.
You're not gonna let it go, are you?
No, it was, honestly, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But look, I mean. You're an award-winning. You've won competitions in bodybuilding.
Yeah, see, like since I was a kid, my two passions in life was always DJing and going to the gym. Like since I can remember, they're the only two things that I ever loved doing. It was I'd be in the gym. After gym, I'd be on my decks in my bedroom.
Yeah.
That was it. So, yeah, the fitness thing. I think once I got into my early 20s, I wanted to take it up another level and get a bit more serious about it. So I decided to take a shot at doing some competitions, and at the same time I landed a sponsorship with Optimum Nutrition, who are like one of the biggest supplement companies. They're massive, and I always used their supplements anyway growing up, so to become part of their brand was just a huge moment for me. So I'm still sponsored them today. Been with them for nearly 9 years now.
Wow.
So yeah.
And are you still competing?
No, so my first competition was 2015, and it was the Miami Pro, and I competed in the fitness model section. So not so extreme as bodybuilding, like not in the mass
It's not
monsters.
about size.
It's a more.
That's the one I do. The one. It's
Yeah,
just
I
about being,
thought so.
like,
Yeah,
massive.
I'm trying to get like you. So,
yeah, exactly.
One day.
Yeah.
No, so with the sort of category that I competed in, it's not like about the mass monster. It's a more aesthetic look, something that more is kind of about being a bit shredded, condition, more about the aesthetics of it rather than the mass monster sort of thing. So Miami Pro was the first competition I entered. It was in April 2015, and I started my preparation for that in January 2015. So it was about a 4-month preparation, and I won the competition. I won it. I've got a really cool video on YouTube actually called "The Road to Victory." It's really sort of motivational.
Yeah.
It filmed my whole prep from the beginning to winning the competition, and I was still DJing, really like touring a lot during the prep, so it shows the dark times of literally
exactly.
like not going to sleep and just trying to live off like this little bit of food.
Yeah, but also like if you're DJing the whole time, like you're in clubs, surely you're boozing. Like
not in preparation. No, I would not go near that. It's not even a question. But yeah, like it was hard, man. But it was really hard graft, and I think going through them competitions and the preparations, it made me like really strong mentally. So now when I'm doing like crazy touring and no sleep and flights every day, I'm able to get through it. Like I'm a bit kind of going to that robot machine mode that I was conditioned for back then. So I think it's helped me actually in my overall sort of career. But yeah, so I won Miami Pro, I won the overall title. Then I competed again a week later at Purely, and I won that as well. So I won back-to-back titles. The following year, I competed at WBFF, which is a bit of a step up, and I got my pro card there, which was great. And then so I competed again a year after, but I then kind of had to put it, the competing thing. You just put the picture there of the Muscle and Fitness cover. Yeah. I think with the fitness and the competing, if you'd asked me like what my end game was, like what was my goal, I would have said I wanted to be on the cover of Muscle and Fitness. Yeah. And there you are. I got it. Yeah.
There's a pattern emerging here of like setting yourself targets and hitting them. Yeah. It's inspiring, mate.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. And that was in every supermarket, petrol station across the UK last May. That was the cover of Muscle Fitness UK last May, and that was like a massive dream come true for me to get that front cover. Yeah. And I think for me, like when I got that, it was like, okay, I feel like I've achieved what I wanted to achieve in fitness, and I didn't want to pursue competing because it was taking so much out of me. Yeah. And if you do a competition, it's like 110% of you has to go in there. And my real like big thing was always my music and my DJ, and I was like, if I want to make this happen, I have to put this on the back burner now. Yeah, of course. So I stopped competing because that for me that was enough. And then you could start drinking at gigs. And then I really I always was very focused on my DJ music, but after that bang, last 2 years, man, I've lived in the studio, and it's just been. So what's next then with that? I'm assuming there's more music ready to go. Are we going to see an album, collaborations? Just in a nutshell, what's next? Yeah, so I've got hopefully get my next record out before Christmas, and it's, oh mate, I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Yeah, it's a really special track, and I yeah. So we'll see what happens. Sorry though, it's still climbing the charts, and it's still everywhere. So you know what, we'll see how it goes. But I'm very well prepared. You know, I've got some bangers in the bag, which I'm excited to get out in due course. And yeah, next year, man, I'm really excited to hopefully take my touring up to another level. My big dream is to be playing like on all the festivals and traveling worldwide.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling that's going to happen.
Fingers crossed, man.
Yeah,
fingers
definitely.
crossed, yeah.
Mate, well, listen, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us and sharing that journey and story. It was brilliant. And like I say, really, make some noise for Joel, guys. Seriously. So Joel's track, Sorry, is available to download, stream and buy right now. And check him out on his upcoming autumn tour. We're going to be back shortly with the cast of the exciting upcoming new Netflix series, The Politician. But for now, one last time, seriously, make a lot of noise for Joel Corry! Thanks, mate.